this is Pat McCarthy. Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. We are going to be working on the 565 in this video. I put all the pistons in the engine. I showed one piston being put in. I ran out of time. It's a short video. Got a lot of things going on in the shop, and I'm going to be hopping around on different engine jobs. Customers come in, if I can get a job out fairly quick for them, I try to get them out because I'm a one-man shop. Of course, complete assemblies take me longer, and as you can see, I don't have a clean room. Once I start on an engine and I'm in the middle of it, no machines get run until I'm done putting the engine together. I've got it double bagged, it's sitting here. We've got a 350 to bore out, that's the 383 stroker. That's all balanced, so I'll be boring that out. I've got a Windsor to bore and deck, so this is going to be probably off to the side for a week. There's got to be fitment where the blower sits on the intake, where the pulleys line up and all that. So we've got some fitment to do on this. I'll be putting the heads on it probably towards the end of the week, probably maybe the 1st of July. So I hope you enjoy this short little video. Okay, now is the time to check and make sure the rings are in the correct position. And being that this has got a one-piece second ring, we want to make sure that the spacer's in the ring groove and not hanging out. And everything looks good, so we're going to lightly compress it and make sure that everything is going good and not binding. Okay, we want to make sure that we're not going to, when we drive down the rod, we're not going to hit the crankshaft with the guides that I have on the end of the rod. That'll keep the piston from coming down, and it makes the rings harder to install. So what I do is I just kind of look down the rod, and where gravity's centering it, I just move the crank so I know that I'm in the center line of that. Okay, I use a lot of oil on these. makes it go better. I don't beat them in, I just tap them in. Just like that. Like I said, a lot of oil on that. With the smaller rings, it seems to be more crucial with that type of ring compressor. So we'll push her down. And that's pretty much it. Of course, with the aluminum rods, there's a little different procedure on tightening them, torquing them up. And we'll probably won't get that far with this video. This is going to be a nice short video, so you guys shouldn't fall asleep. So we'll get on to the next hole. When you're dealing with L19s, or well, the L19s are pretty fussy, but you try not to touch them. So hold them by the head, or hold them lightly by the threads, but make sure they're well lubed up. Aluminum rods, they've got a pinned lower, and we want, well, I don't, they do. They want you to use 50 weight oil on these. And the only thing I can tell you is, don't think you're going to put ARP lube or something on them. Use what the manufacturer recommends. Of course, with the aluminum rod, it's got a chamfered washer in there. You want to make sure that washer is, the chamfer is facing the head of the underside of the bolt, like that. Because the underside of the bolt has got more fillet area on the bolt, makes it stronger. If it was a sharp edge, it would crack right there. So we're going to put 50 weight oil on them. That's what they want. That's what they're going to get. Got a little assembly lube on it. Of course, the bearing is narrowed. They used to chamfer them, but you can see that the radius on the rod is always going to face the cheek of the crankshaft. And you can look down and you can see that the bearing is away from the radius of the crank, and that's important. Because on racing cranks, usually anything good, the radius is bigger on them, so that's why you use the narrowed or the chamfered bearing on them. I'm going to check for stretch. But right now I'm just getting them on, and then we'll shim the rods properly to line the caps up, because the caps can move. So we're going to put 2 feeler gauges in between the rods and tighten them up. Probably I'm not going to get that far on this video. We're just going to lightly tighten them up so we know that they're on there and they're not going anywhere. We'll take the crank through a couple times, make sure everything clears. Of course, that was done prior, but doesn't hurt to triple check everything. Well, this is it on this video. I don't know if I'm going to be making any more till probably after July. I may deck the 351 Windsor. I might do some video on that. I might do some video on the 350 boring. I've got plenty of videos of doing that stuff. And it doesn't change from a big block to a Windsor to just about anything other than the BHJ bushings for centering it up on the housing bore on the main. So basically they're all about the same. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. Try to keep you as interested. I got another set of rods to recon. I don't know if I'm going to take a video of that, because you've seen me rebuild a bunch of rods. So, if you enjoy my videos, hit the like button. Please subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. And I guess I'll keep making them if you keep watching them.